There seem to be some mixed signals from your administration about the interrogation of terror detainees.
Most of us have accepted that Guantanamo Bay means the denial of basic human rights, indefinite detention, and the widespread use of torture, sometimes resulting in death. Now comes new evidence that the trials those in Guantanamo Bay are waiting for may be rigged from the start. Will we accept that too? Welcome to Collateral.
To authorize it if you believe it's necessary to protect the nation.
First of all, whatever we have done was legal, and whatever decision I will make will be reviewed by the Justice Department to determine whether or not the legality is there. And the reason why there's a difference between what happened in the past and today is there's new law. And so, to answer your question, whatever we will do will be legal.
Earlier this month, the Pentagon announced that it was going to try 6 Guantanamo Bay detainees, including alleged 9/11 mastermind Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, in accordance with the Military Commissions Act of 2006. The act is flatly unconstitutional, establishing a parallel system of legal justice which strips detainees of habeas corpus, the right to confidential legal counsel, and other aspects of a fair defense. But it did at least provide for some kind of trial, which in theory could allow a detainee to win his freedom. Not anymore. The Nation magazine has reported that according to a former chief prosecutor at Guantanamo, the Military Commission trial process has been rigged by administration appointees to rule out even the possibility of acquittal. Colonel Morris Davis resigned last year over his belief that the military trial process was compromised by the intention to produce a perfect record of convictions. Davis also spoke of orders he received to prosecute high-profile or sexy cases in the run-up to the 2008 elections. This is interesting, of course, in light of the fact that the decision to try Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, a man that's supposedly been held for 5 years, just so happened to be announced during the middle of the 2008 campaign season. But the coup de grace was something that Davis was told by the Pentagon's General Counsel, William Haines, back in 2005 when the two were discussing the possibility of military trials at Guantanamo. Haines told Davis he believed the Guantanamo trials would be the Nuremberg trials of our time. Davis reminded Haines that at Nuremberg there were a number of acquittals, something Davis believed gave the Nuremberg trials a great deal of credibility. Haines then reportedly told Davis, quote, "Wait a minute, we can't have acquittals. If we've been holding these guys for so long, how can we explain letting them get off? We can't have acquittals. We've got to have convictions," end quote. And that was in 2005. Then in 2007, Haines was put ahead of Davis in the chain of command. Davis resigned shortly thereafter.
As I said, I think Congress gave us the right tools. It's the implementation by some political appointees that want to try to ensure outcomes that, in my view, are circumventing justice.
In the world of political commentary, it's become fashionable to explain each new horrible thing the Bush administration does as the result of its incompetence. But malevolence is not incompetence. And when we call malevolence incompetence, we make a grave mistake. Rigging trials is malevolent. In fact, it sets a new standard of injustice, for it secretly assures an outcome that a naive observer might conclude was come to via due process. That's not just despicable, it's totalitarian. Hope to see you next week.
Guantanamo Bay. The reality, of course, is that the overwhelming majority of the people that are held there have not been charged with a crime, will never be charged with a crime because there's no evidence against them. Most of them are no longer being interrogated, so whatever intelligence they claim they were getting off from them doesn't exist anymore because it's stale. And so they just languish in these prisons because America wants to tell the world we are saving them from terrorists, but in fact what they're doing is building more anti-American feeling as long as this proceeds and continues.